163.251.268, and I'm from class 63.2B.31. I am a student at Bina Sarana Informatika University, Dewi Sartika branch. In this video, I would like to present my English project to my honorable lecturer and all the viewers out there. Today, I stand before you to talk about a topic that is close to all of our hearts and stomachs: the extraordinary diversity of Indonesian cuisine. Indonesia is not just a country, it is a massive archipelago consisting of over 70,000 islands, inhabited by hundreds of different ethnic groups. Because of this geographical and cultural vastness, it is impossible to define Indonesian food with just one or two dishes. Our culinary heritage is a vibrant mosaic of flavors, spices, and traditions. Let's take a quick journey across the archipelago. Starting in the west, the island of Sumatra introduces us to bold, spicy, and rich flavors. The Minangkabau people, for instance, gave the word rendang, a slow-cooked beef dish bathed in coconut milk and a complex mixture of spices that has been recognized globally as one of the most delicious foods in the world. Moving to Java, the flavor prevails. In central Java and Yogyakarta, dishes tend to lean towards the sweeter side. Gudeg, a traditional dish made from young jackfruit, boiled for hours with palm sugar and coconut milk, is a perfect example of this historical Javanese sweetness. Meanwhile, East Java offers us savory and earthy dishes like rawon, a dark beef soup enriched with the unique kluwak nut. Further east, the tropical paradise of Bali tantalizes our taste buds with ayam betutu and the incredibly fresh sambal matang. And if we travel even further to the easternmost parts of Indonesia like Maluku and Papua, we will see a sip in staple food. Instead of rice, the locals celebrate the abundance of sagu and the ocean. This is like papeda, a sticky sago kongi, served with ikan kuah kuning or yellow spicy fish soup, demonstrate a brilliant use of a local natural resource. Beyond these regional specialties, we also cannot forget our vibrant street food culture. From nasi goreng carts praising trap neighborhoods to satay vendors that light up the night street, Indonesian food is accessible, communal, and brings people from all walks of life together. Amidst this incredible diversity, there are universe, the presence of sambal and kerupuk on the dining table, our mastery of bumbu or spice pastas, and the culture of eating together in harmony. To conclude, the diversity of Indonesian cuisine is a perfect reflection of our national motto, Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, or unity in diversity. Our food tells the story of our history, our ancestors, and our land. Therefore, we must take pride in it, preserve it, and introduce it to the world. Thank you for your time and attention. Welcome to the second part of my video project. In this presentation, I will explain the concept, rule, and usage of indirect question in the English language. Let's start with the definition. What are indirect questions? Simply put, they are questions that are embedded or packaged inside another statement or question. They always consist of an introductory phrase followed by the main question. Why do we use them instead of direct question? The main reasons are politeness and professionalism. When we talk to strangers, elders, or clients, direct question can sound rude or demanding. Indirect questions help soften our request. To form an indirect question, we begin with an introductory phrase. If we are asking a polite questions, we can use phrases like "Could you tell me?" or "Do you know?" If we are making a statement, we can say "I was wondering" or "I would like to know." Now, let's look at the grammatical rules. Rule number 1 is about word order. In a direct question, the verb comes before the subject. However, in an indirect question, we must use the normal statement word order, where the subject comes before the verb. Rule number 2 is crucial. We must eliminate the auxiliary verbs do, does, and did from the questions. Instead, we adjust the main verb to match the tense. For example, does the flag live becomes the flag lives. Rule number 3 applies to yes or no questions. If there is no question words like who, what, or where, we must insert the word if or whether to connect the introductory phrase with the embedded question. You might ask, what is the difference between if and whether? Both are correct, however whether is slightly more formal, and it is actually the better choice when you are presenting two alternatives such as whether or not. Moving on to rule number 4, which is about WH questions. If the direct question begins with a question word like who, what, where, or why, we must keep that exact word to connect the sentence. We do not use if or whether here. Before we look at more comparisons, let's review some common mistakes. The most frequent error is forgetting to change the word or the back to normal. For example, saying, do you know who is she? is incorrect. It should be, do you know who he is? Another mistake is forgetting to remove do, does, or did. Let's look at a few more comparisons. Why did she resign? Because I was wondering why she resigned. Notice how did is removed and resign becomes past tense. Similarly, is there a reason nearby becomes could you tell me if there is a reason nearby? To conclude, mastering indirect question is essential for upgrading your English fluency, especially in formal situations. Just remember, the key takeaway: use a polite introductory phrase, maintain normal word order, drop the do, does, did, and use if, whether for yes or no questions. That brought me to the end of my presentation on indirect question, and that also concludes my entire English project for this video. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to my honorable lecturer for the guidance and opportunity, and to everyone who has watched this video from the beginning to the end. I hope the speech about Indonesian cuisines and the explanation of indirect questions were clear and useful. Once again, my name is Adaline Nurajija from Bina Sarana Informatika University Dewi Sartika Branch. Thank you very much for your time and attention. Have a good day and goodbye.